The disclosure community has spent almost a decade arguing about Luis Elizondo. He claimed to run the Pentagon's AATIP program, but the Defense Department spent years denying he had any official duties there. Senator Harry Reid eventually had to write a letter to force the Pentagon to admit Elizondo had a limited role. The public debate over who actually ran things was completely chaotic. But during those exact same 9 years, the Pentagon never challenged the authority of the officer who actually managed the underlying $22 million program. That role is completely undisputed. His name is James Lacatski. He's the named Defense Intelligence Agency officer whose signature sits directly on the official contract documents. Lacatski came from the Defense Warning Office. His job was to identify future threats and technological surprises before they appeared on a battlefield. He brought highly specific technical training to the agency. Lacatski was an engineer specializing in rocket propulsion. The Pentagon doesn't hand complex physics contracts to random administrators. Lacatski had the exact technical background required to make a massive, classified research program institutionally legitimate inside the building. In 2007, before any contract existed, Lacatski visited a remote 512-acre property in Utah called Skinwalker Ranch. Aerospace billionaire Robert Bigelow owned the land and had been funding private research there. While on site, Lacatski had a documented anomalous experience. He witnessed something his extensive training in physics and engineering couldn't readily explain. He took that unresolved gap in his understanding straight back to the Pentagon. That single event became the catalyst for creating a comprehensive federal research program designed to find answers. In 2008, the DIA awarded a $22 million contract to a company called BAASS, the sole bidder. The program was named AAWSAP, running under contract number HHM 402-08-C-0072 for 4 years. This was a customized study built from the ground up. A qualified engineer designed a structured scientific investigation to answer the very questions generated by his own time in the field. Lacatski designed the AAWSAP contract with a specific 3-part architecture. He utilized the $22 million award to fund 3 parallel streams of research under a single administrative umbrella. The first 2 streams handled direct observation. Contractors deployed to Utah to instrument Skinwalker Ranch for field investigations, while analysts combed through classified military data for encounters with unidentified aerial phenomena. The third stream focused entirely on theoretical physics. Lacatski commissioned 38 defense intelligence reference documents through subcontracts to independent researchers. These documents don't present experimental results, and they aren't peer-reviewed science. They act as speculative literature reviews. Authors explored concepts operating at the extreme edges of known science, writing papers on vacuum energy extraction, traversable wormholes, and invisibility cloaking. The institutional reception was decidedly mixed. The Jason Advisory Group reviewed a paper on gravitational waves and concluded the math didn't stand up, while Senator Harry Reid flatly called the entire collection a real grab bag. Despite the criticism, Lacatski managed to hold these 3 wildly ambitious and disparate workstreams together under one unified Defense Intelligence Agency roof. Most classified program managers finish their contracts and fade into the background. They almost never publish detailed accounts of their work while the core questions remain active and highly classified. Lacatski took a different route. In 2021, he co-authored a book called Skinwalkers at the Pentagon, with investigative journalist George Knapp and biochemist Colm Kelleher. He followed that up with a second book in 2023. Both volumes carry a critical distinction. They passed directly through the Department of Defense pre-publication security review before hitting the shelves. That 2023 publication settles one of the biggest arguments in the disclosure community. Lacatski states in print that AAWSAP and AATIP refer to the exact same underlying effort, simply viewed from different institutional angles. He goes even further, explicitly confirming his role as the officer who issued the tasking to hunt down crash retrieval programs and who provided the official letters of introduction. He stands behind the entire scope of the operation, without contradicting the strict procurement record or the 37 reference documents released through the Freedom of Information Act. The timeline Lacatski established confirms that the program operated as a deliberate Defense Intelligence Agency initiative. He designed the tasking, managed the contract, and documented the results under his own name,